Well, from Edo State, let's go to the Labour Party. A leadership crisis rocking the Labour Party on Tuesday, June 25, as the Labour Party Transition Committee called for the resignation. It took a different turn as a committee called for the resignation of the Chairman, Julius Abure. And that committee, the Transition Committee, is comprised of Labour leaders. Those Labour leaders on Tuesday disrupted a National Working Committee meeting of Labour Party. They disrupted it. That meeting was convened by former presidential candidate of Labour Party, former governor of Anambra State, Peter Obi, in Abuja, and those Labour leaders who went there and to disrupt that meeting insisted that Abure's tenure will expire by the end of the month, and they're demanding a new all-inclusive national convention by the party. Well, police fired tear gas to disperse the protesters. Chairman of that committee is Abdul Wahid Omar. Omar is a former NLC president. Now, he emphasized the need for a smooth transition to avoid a leadership vacuum. Peter Obi had to come outside of that meeting to address them. Obi, attempting to reconcile those aggrieved members, urged leadership of the party to work towards unity and address the internal conflicts, and he also welcomed the reconciliation within the party between the former Deputy National Chairman Olumide Akpata and the National Chairman Julius Abure. He emphasized the need for collective decision-making to shape the party's future. Look at these issues affecting Labour Party. Joining us is Monday Mawah. He's a Deputy Governorship Candidate of the Labour Party in Edo State. Monday, good evening to you. Thank you for your time.
Good evening, my friend Kofi. It's good to be here again, and good evening, Nigerians and listeners.
Thank you very much. Which of the factions, the guest who came on, we're having a tete-a-tete with you off the air, and he was asking which faction you belong to. And we know, of course, yesterday there was a hearing, and the case has been adjourned, but we'll look at that later. So which of the factions in Edo State are you running on? Which ticket are you running on? Is it the Akpata ticket?
Well, no, not Akpata.
Okay, so you are running on Imasugbon ticket.
This start time from now, Akpata will stop featuring around as the governorship candidate of Labour Party.
All right, so you are on Kenneth Imasugbon's ticket?
No, Kenneth, you see, what happened was that there was a primary election took place on the 22nd of February in Edo State, conducted by the acting national chairman as at that particular point in time, person of Olumide Akpata. Don't forget, there was a judgment of the FCT High Court on the 5th of April 2003 that restrained Julius Abure and two other national officers of the party from parading themselves as a national officer of the party pending the determination of the suit. So as a result of that judgment, Abure approached the Court of Appeal. Fortunate for him, or fortunate enough for him, that judgment was set as that order of the FCT High Court was set aside on the 6th of March 2014. That means few days after he had purportedly conducted the primary that purportedly brought up Akpata. So, and the eye of the law is that a man's restraint cannot do anything that can be valid in the eye of the law. So, Kenneth Imasugbon Akpata, we are unfortunate to have participated in that illegal primary conducted by a man restrained by the order of the FCT High Court, which is Julius Abure. Though that order of the FCT High Court now has now been set aside by the Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja on the 6th of March.
So which primary produced you? Whose ticket are you on? Who is your candidate? And or whose running mate are you? And which primary produced you?
Barrister Andasi Asemuta.
Okay, which primary produced him?
The only primary in the eye of the law conducted by Alhaji Olumide Akpata. And as I speak to you, judgment in that matter has been reserved to 17th of next month. By 17th of next month, by God's grace, everything about Akpata will stop featuring anywhere.
All right.
By God's
interesting.
Grace, he
very
didn't
interesting.
participate in the primary in the eye of the law because the man that purportedly conducted his primary was restrained as at the time carried out that.
So what about the fact that INEC has recognized governorship candidate Akpata, not your candidate, not even Imasugbon?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't matter. That is why we are in court now. And what we are in court saying is that INEC was wrong to have countenanced a primary which, in the eye of the law, does not exist. And I'm happy my learned friend that just left your studio there is there. The law is simple. When an order of a court is made, whether rightly or wrongly, parties affected by that order, they have a duty to comply with that order until vacated by that court that made the order or set aside by an appellate court. So the order of the FCT High Court made on the 5th of April 2003, restraining Abure and 3 other principal officers of the party, was eventually set aside by Court of Appeal on the 6th of March 2024. That is few days after they have purportedly conducted the primary that brought up Akpata. And we went to court to say, in view of the restraining order of the FCT High Court, anything that emanated from Abure-led fashion cannot be countenanced by INEC. And
we will leave the substantive matter to the court. Yes. But Barrister, with all the court cases in River State, hearing more, it's making me dizzy. But I get what you're saying. I will look into all of that. But more litigations. We know that the Federal High Court in Abuja, headed by Milord Honorable Justice Obiora Akpata, will deliver judgment. We had that yesterday. It was decided that they will deliver judgment on the 22nd of July on who the authentic candidate of the Labour Party is between Kenneth Imasugbon and Olumide Akpata. I don't know if your candidate is in that case, but we don't want to discuss the substantive matter. So
for the purpose of the public, Kofi, I'm coming. For the purpose of the public, Ken Imasugbon and Akpata unfortunately participated in that illegal primary.
Well, you said the matter is still in court, so it is still in court. You cannot call it illegal.
No, I'm calling it illegal as a lawyer, and I'm speaking here in my capacity as a lawyer, not as a politician per se.
But that's contempt of court, because it's a substantive issue before the court. It's ongoing.
Yes, but this is my opinion, and I'm entitled to it, and I'm saying it beyond an opinion, and I'm talking as a lawyer. I can't be penalized for this. Because the case is simple. A man has been restrained by court, and that same man, during the pendency of his restraining period, said he conducted a primary. Kofi is not done.
So is your candidate part of that case before Milord Honorable Justice Abure Akpata in the Federal High Court of Abuja?
No, not at all.
That means that your candidate is not even the conversation. Because if Milord Honorable Justice Abure Akpata rules one way or the other, either going with Olumide Akpata or Kenneth Imasugbon, both lawyers, it'll give them some legitimacy. Yes.
No, it can't give them legitimacy. Because what now, if no one is happening, it's just like two people in an illegal boat. Both of them are co-travelers in the same boat. But we are saying the purported primary that they even laying claim on in the first place is invalid in the sense that the man that conducted and supervised over that their primary was an order restraining him from doing what he did. All
right. Let's move on. Let's move on to Labour Party. What are your thoughts?
Both of them, whatever the court will even say about them, does not even hold sway because.
Let's move on. Monday Mawah. Okay, we'll go for a quick break. When we come back, we'll look at what transpired yesterday at that Labour Party National Working Committee meeting. Stay with us. Monday Mawah is a legal practitioner. He says he's the deputy governorship candidate of Labour Party in Edo State. Monday, please don't be offended with my introduction because there are things in court right now. We have to be careful. But let's move to Labour Party. What are your thoughts on what transpired in that National Working Committee that held in Abuja on the 25th of May? Of course, we know that Olumide Akpata and Julius Abure, Arabambi and Obiora they're all coming together to work together. So reconciliation, we never saw it coming. and they were all thanking Obi for his role, Peter Obi. But the NLC officials, invaded the venue, and it took police tear gas to drive them away. What are your thoughts on all of that?
Well, my thought on that is just that I would say is quite unfortunate. Quite unfortunate in the sense that Joe Ajaero seemed to be losing focus of the whole essence of NLC, Nigeria Labour Congress. This famous preacher of blessed memory, Monday Mawah, he said, if the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse of it is inevitable. I think it's about time we told Ajaero the whole essence of Nigeria Labour Congress. You see, I think Ajaero is missing it all. The kind of shenanigans we are seeing these days from Ajaero-led Nigeria Labour Congress, with due respect, we have not seen it right from the time of this distinguished senator, Adam Saliu Oshomole, former governor of Edo State, who today has left an indelible mark on the sand of time as far as NLC president is concerned. There was nothing like this. How will you just wake up one morning and say you are going to take over a political party? I think Joe Ajaero need to be educated of the fact that once a political party has been registered, it becomes an entity of its own self. You cannot wake up and say, oh, I am the owner of the political party. How dare you say you are the owner of a political party? Now, I think Joe Ajaero need to be shown the provision of section 221 of the Constitution, 221, 222, and 223 that make provision for political party. And that once the party is registered, it's just like a company. It becomes an entity of its own self, possessing all the organ of you and any human to act independently of its own self. And that is why once the company is registered, we say it becomes a legal personality, it becomes a legal personality capable of suing and being sued.
All right, Monday, you're taking me back to my business law class right there in school. But let's talk about the reconciliation between Apapa and Abure, because I'm even feeling that it may not favor you and your candidate, your governorship candidate. But let's leave that out. How genuine? How genuine is the reconciliation?
It's genuine.
Will it last?
It's genuine.
Will it last?
Now, yes, it will last. Because you see, don't forget, the only thing constant in life is change. And in political cycle, when you have all of these, there was a time, I think I was on the AIT or I don't know the station that I was in. And I told them, I said, the issue going on in labor is a family issue that will be resolved in no distant time. And that's what you are seeing today. We have come to discover that, one or two persons were just trying to use the head of both Julius Abure and that of Apapa to hit themselves.
Who are these people? Who are these one or two people?
You said?
Who are the one or two people you're referring to?
In the what is it called? Just for the purpose of the settlement that is ongoing, let's just leave their names for the sake of the settlement that is ongoing.
Are they within Labour Party, outside Labour Party?
Yeah, member of Labour Party, but some of them came up from outside to join the Labour Party. Unfortunately, the government of their other party that they came with is still very much on them. And so, this group of people that enjoy conflict in every system, unfortunately, we have realized the fact that we can't continue like this. Nigeria is looking up to the party as the last hope. And if we must be the last hope, we must first and foremost sit down within ourselves, reach a compromise, shift ground for the purpose of meeting at a point for the sole purpose of saving this country from what we have.
So Monday Mawah, are you saying you're saying they're agent provocateurs in the Labour Party who are members of the Labour Party?
Definitely. I am saying that categorically on air, yeah.
All right, and these are people who were members of APC before.
Many persons came into Labour Party during the build-up to 2023 election. Some came in with the selfish interest of getting tickets. Some could not get. Some got. And unfortunately, some lost out eventually. And some of them, we discovered that they are only just playing the game of seeing how they can destabilize the party. And eventually, we discovered some of them are just even working to see how they can destabilize the party for the interest of the party they came from. And we have now said, no, we will not allow that anymore.
But now that Apapa and Abure are reconciled forever, like you say, what does this say about the speculation, that the All Progressives Congress and even some who used to say President Tinubu was the orchestrator of that conflict?
And that is to tell you that they were all wrong. From the onset, some of us, we've been vocal about this whole conversation that, APC is sponsoring Apapa, APC is sponsoring. From the onset, we kept on telling that there was nobody sponsoring anybody anyway. It was just as a result of discord that could happen in any political party. And eventually, with Abure was suspended by his word. It is not uncommon with political parties. Don't forget, Adam Sosomole, one-time national chairman of Labour APC, was suspended by his word. Ayu was suspended. So there were issue of removal of national chairmen from their various political parties. Nobody gave it any coloration until it got to issue of Labour. And then we started hearing, the removal of Abure is as a result of some persons that are working with Tinubu, some people that are working with APC. But I think today we can see that all of that were just mere rumor for some people to just look how to give the dog a bad name for the sole purpose of hanging the dog.
Monday Mawah, what are your thoughts on the party's leadership saying that, they're endorsing Obi again? They're describing him as a candidate of the party in the 2027 general elections. In fact, what Abure said was that Labour Party is the only party that already has its presidential candidate for the next general election. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, what I feel Abure was trying to say at that point is that as of today, the candidate we have now standing is Peter Obi. And of course, it will not be bad if we give him the right of first refusal. But to my mind, I would say it is too early to begin to say anybody is the presidential candidate of Labour Party as at now. We are in 2024, 2027 is still far away. And so I think as at now, it's too early for anybody to now begin to say, this and that. But like I said earlier, he's still the only candidate for now, viable candidate for now, standing as far as Labour Party is concerned.
Monday Mawah, that's a good note to end on. I want to thank you so kindly for your time tonight. Monday Mawah, legal practitioner, who joined us virtually from Edo State. All the best.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
We'll keep our eyes on Labour Party. We'll keep our eyes on the Edo State election. We'll continue to be at the front and center of all the conversations regarding these. I'm Kofi Bartels. Many thanks for your time. We return tomorrow. Good night.